Hello everyone, this is Steve with the Free Bullion Investment Guide. Today is August 3rd, and I'm doing a review and outlook price analysis video for gold. This is gold's 4-hour chart, and to quickly review last week's video, I'd shown you this falling wedge pattern. And the price did pop up above it as expected, but I wasn't expecting it to do it as early as it did. It did it on Monday of last week, around the 29th, and I think it was an anticipation trade where it broke up above it, and it did confirm it. And then on Wednesday, when the Fed came out and said that they're going to lower rates, we saw the price come down. Now, I was expecting the price to stay inside the pattern until the Fed came out and for it to break above when the Fed came out. But the Fed, when they released their information that they were going to cut rates by 25 basis points, they also stated that it's basically a one and done thing for now, that they don't anticipate continuing to a need to lower rates, which I honestly expected, but the market expected them to continue to state that they were going to continue to lower rates, which is the reason why for the fall in gold. If the Fed would have said that we're going to continue lowering rates, well, then we should have expected apparently for gold to continue to rise. This is what the financial media is mostly stating. However, with them saying that this is only a mid-year adjustment, that basically a one and done thing, like I just stated, that caused traders to sell off gold. Another hypothesis of mine for this reasoning of gold's price drop is when the Fed lowers rates, it is a positive for gold, but it is also a positive for the market at a whole. It brings more liquidity into the market, which is to help the market and to have positive results. And positive results isn't necessarily a great thing for gold. Gold feeds on uncertainty, but when there is positives, that's not uncertainty, that's certainty. And with the rate cut, it brings more possibilities of good economic activity, which would drop the price of gold down, which is what we saw. However, on Thursday, we heard that Trump had threatened China that he wants to raise tariffs by 10% come September 1st. So then we saw the price of gold jump up, bringing more uncertainties into the market. Now, whether that will happen or not it's not September 1st. We won't know till September 1st, and when that happens, we'll know at that time. But we've been hearing, the thing is, we've been hearing about tariffs, and then we'll hear that they're not going to increase tariffs. So it's a mixed bag of things. I think it's totally a negotiation tactic by Trump on his part. So we'll really have to see what happens. But for the outlook for gold, I'm showing another, well, this isn't another. It's a rising wedge. It is a negative pattern, and the price of gold is expected to fall below it sometime in the near future. If we take a look at the daily chart, we can see that rising wedge a little bit better, and we can look at the MACD, and the MACD kind of looks like the price is done falling for right now. We're still in overbought territory though, and we could come down a little bit further, but we could clearly see the price of gold to continue to trade up inside of this pattern for maybe another week or so or more. So with what the MACD is showing, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of a little bounce, but maybe then we might come back down. I do expect us to stay above 1380. I'm hearing rumors amongst the others that are doing analysis really on the fundamental basis, but they don't do too much chart analysis that I have seen, but I've heard multiple people say that 1400 is now new support. It has shown that 1400 is support at 2 different times in the last 3 weeks. So we could clearly see 1400 continue to be good support for the US, for the price of gold. So my outlook for gold is for it to break this pattern sometime in the near future, which means some downside movement. However, I'm not quite sure if that's going to be now or sometime later in the week or sometime next week. We'll really have to pay attention to see what happens and what comes out in the news. But 1400 will likely stand as first support. Then 1380 is what I consider to be stronger support than 1400. And if we watch it continue to rise, 1440, it is sitting on 1440 right now. It was a resistance level. It now is clearly showing it as support level. We'll really have to see how long this level holds. But if it does continue to move higher, then we'll see 1460, 1465 be a new resistance level, and we'll have to pay attention to gold and see how it moves next week with the news that is released, and just go from there, really. So I thank you for your time. Take care, and God bless.